camera roll. We've got the National Black Nurses Association on. We've got Las Amigas on. I'm going crazy. I see you, Zeta Phi Beta. They're everywhere calling in. We're getting close to 1,000 people in a 24-hour turnaround. I don't know how that happened, but look at God. He did it. I see my new stories. That's where I pledged it down in New Orleans. I love it. I love it. I see you. Now, Sister Ava, we're going to start with you because we have to ask you this question. What made you actually do this film? What inspired you?
The book by Isabel Wilkerson, this incredible sister, Pulitzer Prize winning journalist. She had been writing for the New York Times when she decided that she wanted to go make a book called The Warmth of Other Suns. Yeah. She made that book. It was a huge hit. Her follow-up to that was Caste. And she wrote it at a time of great turmoil in her personal life. And I was really inspired by the fact that she was able to pull herself through grief through her creative pursuits, through her intellectual quest, and felt like we don't see that hardly enough in films. And so the idea of centering this woman Black woman who is thinking through her way through this movie, and she is centered, and her ideas are what we follow from scene to scene, sequence to sequence, and what she's sharing is so vital to our understanding of the world. That the divisions are constructed. They're manufactured, and it's up to us to break those boundaries and those limits. Was just very provocative, and so decided to make a film about it.
Yeah. I see it. Yeah, Janice Baptist just joined us. I saw the Easter Star come up. I'm telling you, it's going crazy. The people are still sending it out. It is going nuts. And love hearing that context. I see the AKs in the house. I see y'all showing up in the house tonight. I see it. Now, Sister Aunjanue, one of the things that, first of all, we follow you and we follow both of your careers, but what drew you into the script? Because that was one of the things we really were interested in asking you. Hearing about the background of Sister Wilkerson and knowing the actual depth of what this story is about. Let me just say, you are an actress extraordinaire. Crazy, period. You're amazing. And you got fans all over the world. I just want you to know, your sisters love you to pieces. So tell us, what drew you in?
Well, the first thing that drew me in was Miss Wilkerson's words. I had not read the book when it came out in 2020, but I did listen to interviews that she did when she was promoting the book. And I knew her by reputation from, as Ava said, The Warmth of Other Suns. I had been reading that a little bit. So I just knew she was just this brilliant woman who everything that she did, was stunning and shook the publishing world, shook the journalism world. When she spoke, people listened. So that was my first attraction. But then I heard that Ms. Duvernay was adapting it, and that was my second attraction. I had wanted to work with Ava since I did When They See Us with Ava a few years ago. I believe that Ava is a director of consequence. And what I mean by that is when we did When They See Us, it changed the social landscape of the city of New York, the justice landscape of the city of New York. Yusuf Salaam is going to be a city councilman if he has not been sworn in already.
He has.
He has, yes. So he is a city councilman, and he's an extraordinary man all by himself, as we say in church. But I believe that the seeds of at least that campaign were planted in When They See Us, the work that Ava did in When They See Us. And then finally, one of the conversations that I had with Ava initially was that she wanted to dramatize the interior life of a Black woman. And so often, before we enter any space, we are dehumanized, we are politicized, no one is interested in what's in our brains. And that was exciting to me, to just take that space of what happens in Isabel Wilkerson's brain.
I love that. Top ladies, I see them coming up. Those top ladies are coming up. Yeah. We've broken 1,000 already. I don't even know how we did it, but it's the love. It's Black women. Yolanda, jump in. Let's get some questions from you, sis.
I'm mesmerized by all of the comments. I can't even really focus on what is being said. because they just keep coming in. I just praise God for this, because as Aunjanue said earlier, this is a movement. And I have to say that this is not a movie that must be seen. This is a movie that must be seen at least twice.
Yes.
Because you guys did an amazing job of packing and unpacking so much that I felt like I wish I had a remote that I can just rewind and watch it again. So that's why you got to go at least twice. Absolutely. And we want to make sure we go out and support it in the theaters right now so that we can make sure it lives in the theater. So I'm challenging any and everybody who can hear me to take a friend and go at least twice.
That's
so let me ask a question, Aunjanue, because I have a personal relationship with Aunjanue. HBCUs have been in the forefront of fighting for justice, because we know 𝒜𝓊𝓃𝓃𝓊𝓒e, that's the rich history of 𝒜𝓊𝓃. How does the film connect with this mission to tackle racial inequity and discrimination? And what can we learn from the past to help us in today's efforts for justice? I know that was a lot.
Well, I mean, you said that 𝒜𝓊𝓃 has a rich history, and I don't think people realize how rich it is. Not to say that FAMU and other schools on here ain't rich too, but the fact that during the civil rights movement in Mississippi, of all places, in Mississippi, so many figures came to Mississippi to be in communion, and it was the sort of like the Mecca even of what was happening in Mississippi and ultimately throughout the United States. Fannie Lou Hamer came there. Martin Luther King came there to our little school in central Mississippi. And what I would say about the HBCUs, I mean, it is the fact that we have to exist at all, and the fact that we have to continue to exist. These places where we are seen, we are celebrated, we are not otherized. And I think Cass, the book, and then what Ava speaks to in the film is speaking to this otherization that we do to each other, that we have to explode, that we have to get rid of in our practice of humanity. Yeah, I'll stop there because I'm rambling. I'm gonna stop, but yes.
Ava, would you like to share anything pertaining to that question?
You know what? I think she said it best. I will piggyback on that.
So because again, I saw the film today, and I don't trust myself because I've been accused of telling too much and spoiling things. So I'm just going to say a couple of words, and if you guys can just speak on those words and share, what to share. So the first word that was just struck me in the film is interconnectedness.
Yeah, I think one of the things that is one of the traits of oppression and subjugation and marginalization is to separate, to make folks feel alone. And it's one of the tactics that's been used historically to manufacture supremacy. And I feel that in this book and in the film, what one of the organizing principles around the idea of sharing information about caste is to say caste runs across all of the isms: racism, sexism, homophobia, Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, ageism, ableism, all the isms, right? All the phobias are upheld by this idea of caste, which says I'm better than you because I said so, because a set of random traits, your skin color, your gender, your whatever, and that these are the tools that allow power and status to accrue. The only way that I can be better than you is not based on merit or what's deserved. It's based on the fact that I've got my foot on your neck, right?
Yeah,
so
literally.
That idea is a lot of what we consider as all of us think about caste, that is upholding all of these isms on top. And until you can deal with caste as a part of all of these divisions, then we're not really going to be able to get to the core of the matter, to defend ourselves, right? To resist. we have to know all of the parts of the equation. So that's a big quest for me in sharing the information. But the reason why I didn't make a documentary and I went to make a film, because I don't think there's any better way to stir empathy than the face of an extraordinary actor like Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor. So you need to make a film for that. You know, the reason why we do this work is to try to create empathy and emotion around the information. And so people hear a lot of this, you know, cultural phenomenon, anthropological thesis talk around caste, but really the story is about a Black woman on a journey. She's on a quest. She travels the world to prove her theories about dignity, humanity, equity, civility. And we actually watched this sister think her way around the globe, write her book despite great personal obstacles. And that's all embodied in the work that Aunjanue does, surrounded by a beautiful cast. And so when you see it, you're going to get some of this heavy stuff, but you're going to be watching this beautiful love story, you know, a woman who's in love with the world and all its possibilities. And that's what we invite people to see in theaters now, in a city near you.
So the similarities that we all share when we're talking about, and that's what the movie challenged you on, is that take the race out. So as you guys traveled the world to make this film, did you actually see signs of what is going on there still today? What the whole film is about?
Yeah, you know, I'll just speak to this real quick. I mean, I was introduced to the Indian caste system before I went to India.
Right.
Up close and personal. I worked with an actor on a series, and she had an assistant. But the way that she treated this assistant was unlike anything that I have ever seen in my life, ever. And for an example, this actor we were in the hair and makeup trailer, and she finished eating. There was a garbage can that was right next to her, right? She finished eating. She walked out of the trailer. Her assistant was nowhere around. She walked out of the trailer. Her assistant came from wherever he was in Montreal, took her plate and put it in the garbage can, a garbage can that was touching her knee.
Oh my gosh.
And I witnessed that, and I was outraged. I was confused. I didn't understand that, but I knew inherently something was wrong. Something there was that it bordered on abusive. I knew that something was wrong with that. And then it wasn't until this experience of reading about caste and doing the movie and reading the book as a result of being in the film, I said, that's what I was with. That is what I was experiencing. That is what I was experiencing. I was experiencing the Indian caste system up close. And it was astounding to me. And then traveling to India and meeting actual Dalits. And all of the background artists that we were working with, and some of our first team artists, they were Dalits. They were the untouchables, the lowest of the low.
Untouchables.
Yes, exactly. Ava, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, no, I think, you know, our work in Delhi, in India, really illuminated a whole system of subjugation there that is, you know, I won't say hard to fathom, because it is a story similar to our ancestors, and yet it's happening right now. So it is centuries behind the progress that we've made, and this is deeply entrenched in the society, the structures, the systems, the faith. It's so complicated. It's beyond anything, even after a couple years of study, that I can completely talk about in a very comprehensive way, because it's not my story. But in doing this work, we try to, you know, listen very closely to activists, experts, academics, everyday folk, to share their experience. And so that's a bit of what you'll find in the film as well.
I
Yeah.
want to add to that. You know,
Please.
what was so wonderful about the experience, and I just want to take 2 seconds and just give a shout out to Ava Duvernay, who took my country ass all over the world. Listen, I mean, I went to Berlin. I've never been to Berlin before. I went to India. I've never been to India before. It was a dream of mine to go to those places. So, and I, you know, the reason why that is important is not just because I took a trip around the world. It's important because Ava is a kind of director, and I want everyone to hear me say this, that a lot of what you see and what you will see this weekend when you go see the movie Origin in theaters now, is you are experiencing an actor, me, experiencing something in real time. So when you see wonder on my face, it's wonder because what is happening to me is happening to me in the moment. There is nothing manufactured. There is nothing fake. Sure, certain things have to be, you know, certain moments have to be recreated because she has to do several takes of things. But for the most part, what you are seeing what you are seeing Isabel go through on camera is what Aunjanue Ellis is experiencing for the first time in her life. So, but, and what I want to say about the Germany experience is that what is so profound about Germany is that they are doing the work that we have not yet begun here in this country. They said that and what's interesting is that after World War II, they got together with all the Allied forces, right? Including the United States of America. And they said, okay, this is what we do, so this won't ever happen again.
Yeah.
And one of the things they did was they outlawed the swastika.
Yep.
They outlawed it,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So you're not gonna see that. You're not gonna see that there. Everywhere, all over it. Ava, I want Ava to speak to this. All over Berlin, you see a testimony and a testament to what happened there. You see a country that is ashamed of what happened and is doing everything they can to address it, to make it right,
Yeah.
and to move forward. But you can't move forward until you acknowledge the pain, until you
That's right.
acknowledge what happened that was wrong.
That's right.
And we have not done that in this country. Go ahead, Ava, talk about that.
Talk
Well,
about
I
that,
mean, you know,
please.
especially as we even consider Mississippi, where you know where you are from, and we think about
Right.
Confederate flags. Someone
The
said
flag.
here, and we have Confederate flags, the monuments, the statues, all of the symbols of that terrorism that are all around us, that are celebrated, that people fight to keep up. And so Berlin is an example. Rwanda is another example of you know, nations that have said, you know, are we perfect? No. Are we acknowledging this? Are we trying to do the work to progress? Yes. And the United States for generations has refused to do that. And so it was really striking for us to be there as Black folk. We are not financed by a big studio or streamer. So it was me and my producing partner, Paul Garnes, two Black independent producers, same people who produced Queen Sugar, produced Origin, the two folks.
Come on now, give it up, give it up, give it up.
Just out there, you know, with the trust of artists like Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor with us, and not needing all of the bells and whistles of the studio, just saying we're committed to the story, and being able to go to the city of Berlin and say, this is who we are, this is what we want to do. We're going to need to be in the real place where these events happened, the famous Nazi book burning, one of them. We want to be in the real place where it happened. We are going to need to fly the swastika, which is illegal there. We are going to need to have Nazi soldiers, about 1,000 extras dressed up as Nazi soldiers. All that symbolism is illegal. And we are going to need to recreate this. And we're going to have to make a huge bonfire and throw books in it so that we can tell this story. Hi, we're just Ava and Paul from Chicago. Will you let us do this? And, you know, with the help of an extraordinary cast and crew, you know, it happened. And so I think, you know, it's an act of defiance, and it's speaking truth to a power in the United States, that, you know, Aunjanue added this beautiful line in the film. You'll see Isabel at the dinner table conversation talk about symbols that are still alive and well, and that you can see to this day in Mississippi, as she's debating with someone about the importance of these terrorist symbols. And so all of that is in this picture, and it just goes to show caste is not the past, it's right now.
Right now.
And what do we do to break it down and understand it for the future?
See, Ava, you see how you shared, but you didn't share. So I would have told the whole movie.
she came through.
We call her Yolanda Spoiler Rogers.
Yeah.
You just got
Yeah. And so I thank you so much for your artistic, how you went back in time and history, even with Ebony. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Yolanda Rogers, don't spoil this movie.
I probably need you to stop talking.
I love it. She just saying choice words. You're gonna watch the movie and laugh because she just dropped it.
We're gonna bust out laughing like that was what Yolanda was talking about last night.
Yes.
Let me just say, I want to just shout out in the chat right now. HBCUs have been showing up. We've got South Carolina State, Clark Atlanta. We saw some FAMU folks already in the chat. And 𝒜𝓁 showed up tonight. 𝒜𝓁 was in the chat. We see Bowie State. We saw Howard University, Alcorn, Hampton. Yeah, you see how now you're showing back up. I see Tuskegee and Mississippi Valley. I mean, Spelman is in the house, and Central, and I saw Bennett. I see you A&T in Langston. I see y'all coming in there. We've got over 1,100 people on this call. I don't even know what's happening. I'm telling you, it's a movement. It's really happening. And I just want to open up the Q&A function. I know we got some audience questions. So you can just show that to us. We can see. I see it. You sent it. Okay, great. All right. Well, look at the text.
While we open up for questions, I just want to say when we say this is a movement, what that means.
Yeah, please.
The film is being distributed by a very, very small company with not a lot of experience in reaching Black folk. And not a lot of money to do it, put in that direction. And so this is not a film that's going to find you in the ways that films usually find you when they come from big studios, billboards, commercials. You go to your Instagram and stuff's popping up about the movie. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to find it. And so this is our largest weekend. We were 120 screens last weekend. This weekend, we're on 660 screens in the major markets. But the only way that we can hold those screens and grow it is if we make a success of this weekend. We're talking about it starts tomorrow. And let me just say, part of the whole game of the theatrical exhibition business for movies is Friday and Saturday.
All right.
Friday and Saturday is what matters even more than the Sunday. We'll take a Sunday. But if you have a choice, it's Friday and Saturday. And I'll just say, even one ticket, right? Even if you can't go, buy the ticket for the person who can go. Even if you don't have a person who can go, buy a ticket through Seat 16, SEAT16.com. It's where we take your ticket for $16 and we give it to students who need to see it. They get that and a subscription to my masterclass, right? And so there are all these ways that you can participate in this movement, but the real thing that we hope is that you go, that you see it, that you feel it, that you ingest it, that you quench your curiosity by watching this piece, and then you share it with someone else.
Can you say that one more time? Seat 16, one more time.
Yes, Laurier has put up seat16.com. It'd be nice to see some seat16.coms in here. Come on, Colette. I see you, Jasmine. They're putting it up. So that's right. Thank you, Miss Baker. Seat16.com, Alicia Ward. And you go there and you can buy a ticket for a 16-year-old. You can go on Fandango or AMC or any of the others to buy a ticket for yourself. But it's a each one, teach one kind of thing. It's going to be ticket by ticket, sister by sister. And we appreciate yourself. Thank you, Janice. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you, Alva.
You see it all.
I appreciate you.
I love it. Now, we've got a couple of audience questions that they've sent to me. This is an interesting one because I got a chance to hear the answer to this. And I'm going to ask it publicly because I don't think people really understand the industry well. And even as someone we're in civil rights and understanding the importance of film backing, what it takes to make a film. So a very, very intriguing question. How difficult was it to raise funds for this film? And did you have any pushback to be actually to create this film, to create the film? So how difficult was to raise funds? And was there any pushback from the industry for a film like this?
Yeah, you know, what we did was we didn't even give anybody a chance to say no, because we know what the answer is going to be. You know, we know that studios are corporations and that their goal is to make the most money possible. So they're looking at films that can make the most money possible. We're in a climate right now where me walking into a studio looks like this. Hi, Ava Duvernay. We know you. We've heard of you. We like some of your previous work. How are you? I'm fine. I would like to work with you on a picture. Great. What is it about? Cast. Here's a water bottle. Thank you. You can go now. You know, nobody's going to make that movie. So we didn't even take 2 and 3 years to go through that process. We went outside of the studio system. Who would want to make a film about this? How about the nonprofits and the philanthropists who you hear at the end of documentaries on PBS with the support of the Ford Foundation?
Yes, yes.
So who'd I call? The brother, black man who heads the Ford Foundation, Darren Walker. He was my first call. I said, is this something you consider? You do it for docs. Would you do it for a film that's narrative, that fits into your stated mission? And he said yes. Wow. And from there, once he said yes, many others said yes. And so we raised it outside of the Hollywood system. So no one told us no. And once we were able to kind of generate energy around the nonprofits and philanthropists, we were able to greenlight ourselves and have a lot of freedom in telling the story we wanted to tell.
Now, this question is for Sister Aunjanue, and you got a lot of people that have already seen your film and that are already telling us in the chat that they've already gone on C16 and purchased already. But Sister Aunjanue, this is for you, so the question is, how did you go into that deep place of grief for those scenes in the movie? You were able to express so palpably. What did you find inside of yourself to be able to create those scenes?
I carry ancestral grief.
Woo.
You know, I carry ancestral grief. I think any Black woman with a beating heart does. You know, I carry it for my family. I carry it for my mama, my sister, my grandmother. You know, it is why we feel how we feel when we know that Trayvon Martin was killed for nothing by a stranger. You know, we carry that. It's the empathy that we have for other Black folks. You know, we just have it. It is what Black women, it is the work that the humanitarian work that Black women do that no one pays attention to, but it gets done. And we are here because of it. And ancestral grief is a part of that. It got us across the oceans, it got us to the Middle Passage. It has survived all of this, but grief is a part of that. And I carry that. I have my personal grief that I carry with me also. And what I have decided to do as a grown person is to embrace it. Is to embrace it and to find comfort in it, if that makes any sense, because pushing it away just causes me more pain. So I embrace it. And I was able to, you know, work with Ava, who made a space for that. And I would talk to her often and say, listen, you know, I need us to modulate these tears. I don't want to just be crying for no reason. You know, am I right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So yeah, we talked about that, you know, how, yes, we feel this thing, but we want to do it in a way that, you know, serves the art and serves Miss Wilkerson as well.
I just want to take a moment for ancestral grief. Right, that hit heavy in this room. The whole room, we're packed in here, and we went, And so I just want to honor the ancestors in this moment. Our organization was founded by Dr. 𝒜𝓊𝓃𝓃𝓊𝓒. Ancestral grief, right? Carry the load for all of us. And just the feels of what it means to be in a state like Florida when there's questions about history. And looking at the way this film is opening exponential doors, I believe, to liberation and freedom. And so I want you to receive this moment and receive that blessing that you both And as I sit here thinking about Yolanda, how we first talked about this, to God be the glory, because you both have said yes to an assignment that's not easy. And I just hope you feel our hearts. I hope you see these young women as your baby sisters who are like in awe of you. Yolanda, why don't you ask them a question, and then we're going to do a closing kind of affirmation that we want to offer to our speakers. Yolanda?
I think we covered it all.
Okay.
I just, the passion that you're hearing coming across, if that does not move you to go see this film, then I don't know what will. I again, as Ava said earlier, I challenge you guys to spread the word, to take along a friend, to buy a ticket if you're in a position to do so, because it is a I used the word earlier. Bill Duke used to use this word all the time, edutainment, and
Yes,
I cannot wait for my boys to go see this. It just touched me in so many ways. It's being a mother of two boys, and it's a must see at least twice. So
I gotta say this. When Ava and I met last week, I had not had a chance to meet Sir Aunjanue. And one of the things I told her was, my mama said, "You really gonna meet them?" I said, "Yeah, mama, they're gonna be on Zoom." So my mama's on the line. So mama, they are here in all real life. And my parents went to go see it without me last week. And we can zoom out. I want them to see this whole room of the young women that are here. And I'm gonna ask Sister Aunjanue and Sister Ava to close us with the FAMU sisters, if you could give them word of encouragement from you. So I'm gonna start with Sister Aunjanue. From your heart to the young women who are here, pretty in their purple and their black. Shout out to NCNW, check us out. Give us your heart to their heart tonight.
My heart hurts. My heart hurts because my heart hurts and it's healing at the same time.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna sit here and say that it doesn't hurt. And I think, Toni Morrison says that, that I'm gonna reduce this moment to this, but it's much bigger than this. That racism, that's what racism does. Racism is a distraction. Racism distracts you from your work. Racism distracts you from your vision.
Yeah.
And can make you feel small when you are big and you are large and you are vast. It's important for me to say that I am hurt because, and I witnessed the work of Ava Duvernay. Ava Duvernay adapted, produced, directed. What else did you do? I watched her carry equipment. And I am in awe of what she did. I am in awe of what she did. And I believe and I know that the work that she did, which was so profound, deserved more.
Wow.
Deserved more. And so, though my heart hurts, I know that I am healed right now by being in the presence of the faces that I see on this Zoom, by the people who are checking in and saying, I'm here for y'all.
Right.
I'm here for y'all because you've been overlooked. You've been overlooked.
Yeah.
But we're not overlooking. We see you. we see you. We see you. And that means the world to me. It means the world to me. So I want you to know that you're gonna have moments when your heart hurts, when the world outside, you working your tail off and you feel like it does not matter. It's that Clark sister song, Is My Living in Vain? You're gonna have those moments, and they are real. They will happen. It is the nature of being a Black woman in this country. They will happen. But what you got around you, and it has happened time and time again. I ain't saying it's rosy all the time. Yeah, I get mad at Black women. Yes, I do.
That part.
But we show up for each other. We show up for each other and building things together. That's what's going to get us through this. That's all I'm saying.
Let's hear from Sister Aunjanue. Ava, from your heart to their heart.
You know, the words that come to mind, and I thank you, Aunjanue, for those beautiful words. And, you know, I know that she speaks of, you know, industry. We work in an industry where there are very few of us. And so it becomes challenging to, you know, keep walking into these rooms, keep trying to process our filmmaking and our stories within that context that may be seen in a way that's different than what we've intended, or may not be seen or valued at all. But when you first asked the question, what came to mind was one of my favorite quotes by one of my favorite artists, Ossie Davis. He said, I find in being Black a thing of beauty, a joy, a strength, and a secret cup of gladness. And the minute that I stepped out of Hollywood, I'm not going to say Los Angeles because that's where I'm from. I'm saying Hollywood. And I flew to Atlanta. And I'm on the campuses of Spelman and Morehouse. I am visiting the King Center. I'm at Ron Clark Academy with all those beautiful Black children. I am in a luncheon with the 100 Black Men and Women Incorporated. I then fly to DC. And I'm in Washington and I'm in DC, right? So I'm in Washington and which one's the Black one? But I'm in Congress with Dr. Moon, and I'm at a beautiful powwow of AKAs, my sorors, with some beautiful Deltas sprinkled in. I am at a reception of Black mayors from around the country. I go to Howard. I go to Congress Heights. I am in Blackness, a thing of beauty, a joy, a strength, a secret cup of gladness. And that is what we must remember. It's exactly what Aunjanue is saying. It is to stay grounded, rooted in what is our origin, and that's us. And when we get away from that, we're untethered. And when we stay in that, we're anchored. That's what I've experienced, and that's what I'll share with my young sisters. Keep your eye on where your feet are planted, and keep your feet planted within your community. And so it's been a joyful thing over the past couple of weeks, connecting with people. And I can't tell you how much this gathering, this convening means to see in 24, 48 hours time, 1,000 sisters jump on a weeknight, you know, with children and careers and long days behind them, to take a little bit of time to see us, to acknowledge us, to hold hands with us. You know, it means a lot. And so I wish you all could have a gathering of 1,000 people to tell you keep going in whatever it is you're doing. So I'll say that to you now. I thank you for your time, and thank you for this convening. And yeah, you know, that I hope the film gives you something, whatever it is you can take from it that speaks to you, and it speaks to different people in different ways. I hope that it has something to offer you. Take it and run with it. And thank you so much.
And we've capped over 1,200 people tonight. I can't even believe what we did in 24 hours with a Zoom link. And
come on,
Yolanda,
come on,
NCNW. Yolanda, thank you for reaching out. You're such an amazing sister and friend. You're my soror, you're a D9 sister. Aunjanue, let me say this to you. Your light shines so bright, it's out of control. Thank you for honoring the culture. You are the standard, my sister. And I need to say it to you out loud. If nobody tells you, you are God's gift to us on that screen. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for how you build and how you love and how you lift. And thank you for being a sister that we all know, because you have that gift and that love that you exude. So I honor you, my sister, my soror, my D9 sister, Ava, I honor you.
Wait, before my part, can I also honor Aunjanue?
Please, your turn. Please honor her. Please do.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Don't
Before,
shake your head at
no,
me.
no, no,
Don't shake your head.
no. Wait a minute.
I'm
Let
a
me
director.
please. Before anybody honors anybody, listen, y'all. Please pack the theaters this weekend.
Let's go.
Out.
Let me
Pack them out. Okay, I'm done. That's all.
Okay.
I
Let me tell
All
you,
I
if you would like to give Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor her flowers, okay? Her flowers are the seats, right?
Let's go.
And the flowers are we're never going to see this money, right? This film is not about making money. We put the money back in the movie, okay, that we made. This is about the connection that we want this film to make to our community and to us specifically, interiorly, inside of you, to give you strength, to give you light, to give you knowledge, to arm you, right? And so the flowers is to share it. If you want to go as a group, email Tammy at 𝒜𝓁𝓁.com. Simple, TAMMY @𝒜𝓁𝓁.com, and this incredible sister, Tammy Garnes, will answer you.
Tammy.
And hey, Tammy, my girl Tammy, who's on the call, she just put her email in there. If you want to just buy a ticket for a young person, go to seat16.com. It's where my name should be, right on my face. If you just want to mosey in one day, whenever you get the chance, and you don't want to even buy it online, just go to Fandango, see where it is near you, and go and check it out. All kinds of ways. But the real thing is that this isn't about the money from the box office. This is about thinking about films in a different way. How we as artists connect with you as audience to do something other than feed money into a corporation. This is basically saying, if we buy these tickets this weekend, you give Aunjanue her flowers, you give me our flowers, it allows us to stay in the theaters longer. And that allows our intention to manifest, which is connection, right? And so that's what we're asking. And this film would not be possible if I did not have a partner who was with me shoulder to shoulder, like Aunjanue Ellis-Taylor. We were in the middle of the streets in Delhi. Some actresses would be like, "Where's my trailer?" Where are we going? What are we doing? Stepping past cows and cars and craziness, and and I mean, she landed in Delhi on her birthday. I was just like, okay, you ready? Let's go. I'm putting wigs on her and putting coats on her, pushing her in front of the camera. She's ready. I mean, it's just such a dynamic partnership that, it's a time of making a film that I'll never forget. And all of that is in what you'll see. You'll see when you watch it. And those of you,
So Ava, I have one more challenge, because I know there are a lot of educators that's on this call. And I know that this film can be absolutely placed in curriculums, like use this film in your classrooms, higher education. We are approaching the election season. This can be a tool. This is just not for the films for us to go see, but to be used as a tool. So, and I know Pam, Tammy, another dope Delta, she's leading your educational piece. So please, I encourage all educators and the people that have the power to place this film as a tool in some of your schools. Please do so.
So listen, we're in alignment tonight. I know we're at the top of the hour. Thank you both. Let me just say this, it is 2024. So this film, I believe, is the rally cry for us to come out of our seats. Not only fill the seats in the theater, but also fill the voting block, the voting box, the voting booth. It is time to re-energize the liberation of our people. It is time to save democracy. It is time to ensure that we'll let freedom ring throughout all of our communities. And so on behalf of NCNW, Dr. Keith, fam, you girls, y'all are so fly. Give them a little bit of a wave before they go. And listen, Yolanda, love you, partner. You are the best, my sister. And please follow both of our organizations. Put this film out there. Follow us, ncnw.org. Make sure you let us know. Yolanda, give us your website for your organization so we can share it to everybody.
So that's steppingintoservice.org. .com. I'm sorry, steppingintoservice.com.
Love it. Well, God bless you both. Aunjanue and Ava, hugs all the way from Florida. We love you. Thank you so much, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Oregon, go see it. We're going tomorrow. Field trip.
Pack it out, pack it out, pack them out. Bye.
We love you, Mom. God bless you both. Thanks, Yolanda. Y'all be safe.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.